right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Guys, welcome to the fair. Welcome to the last show of the Middle Tennessee Electric demonstration trailer. Guys, we're so glad you're here. My name is Mark Locke. I'm from the Williamson County office. We got Brad Watkins right here to the right. We got Dan Bond Center right here. Then we got Larry No with the white shirt on, Tennessee on his helmet. And we got Nolan Ferris right there on the E-Stop, guys. Guys, thank you for being here. We love this show. We love bringing this to you. And the whole purpose, we've been doing this for 9 years now, and the whole purpose behind this trailer is to give back to the community. And also, too, with this trailer, it has evolved to train first responders. We go to sheriff's departments. We go to EMTs. We go to Tennessee Highway Patrol, new cadets. Basically, we have some scenarios in here that kind of help train them. And guys, tonight, you may learn some takeaways that you can save somebody else's life, but the main thing is we want you to understand the electricity and how it serves you and some hazards associated with it, but also too, we're going to go over some terminology so you know when you look up, you know what's on the pole, you can call it by name and know what's happening. All right, so what we got here is a downscale version of our system. If you see up on the hill, that's a larger version. What you've got up there is you've got 2 3-phase circuits up there. It's a double circuit. But down here on this pole, we've got a single-phase circuit. This is one wire on top. On our system, we've got 14,400 volts phase to ground. Phase to phase is 24,900 volts right there flowing through that conductor. But on this trailer, for this demonstration, we have 7,200 volts. Still dangerous. Right now, you see Dan with the voltmeter right there. It's got 6,400 volts on there. All right, so now what you got here is that what happens, you'll see the substation on that backdrop right there. We pick up the electricity, we buy the electricity from TVA. We pick it up at one of our substations and we distribute it out. And what happens, it comes down the lines on this single phase, on the top line right there. If you'll see the top line right there, Brad, if you'll touch the top line right there, that's got 7,200. It comes right down to this fuse barrel down at the end. It hits that fuse barrel. It goes down into the transformer. A transformer says it does exactly what it says it does. It transforms. It takes that 7,200, and actually, neat thing about that transformer, there is no moving parts in that transformer. It has 2 coils in it, secondary coils and primary coils, and it's got wrappings of copper around them for a turns ratio. So it takes that 7,200 and a different kind of wraps. It produces 12240. Your power distributor is going to serve you one or two ways. Overhead, which is this right here, which you see that application right there, or underground, you see that green box on the on the trailer, that's a transformer, and you're served with underground triplex that goes to your house buried underground. One or two ways. But for this demonstration, what we want to show you is that if you have an overhead installation, what that is called is a masterizer. It comes up through your roof or underneath your roof line, and what happens, you've got your wires coming from out of your meter base, and what we do when we come out, we take our wire, we attach it to your house, and we do it with 3 connections right there. Larry will point those connections out to you. There's 2 hot legs and there's a neutral. It's making up this triplex connection to your weatherhead. Right now you see them, it's dark, but you really can't see it, but those shiny connections right there is what you do not want to see. What we do when we install that, we put black tape around it, insulated tape, and we tape it real tight. And basically what happens is that protects you from any kind of accidental contact if somebody was to get up on the roof. Henceforth, a dad getting a Frisbee off the roof, a fireman carrying a fire hose up on the roof. But for this, Larry's got to go up on the roof to get something, and this goes above, extends above the roof. And he's on his ladder, and he wants to transition off the ladder onto the roof. So he reaches up and grabs something wrong. Watch what happens when he grabs the wrong thing. If these connections are not taped. All right, guys, a little fun fact here. That's 12240 right there. It only takes a half a milliamp to stop the beating of your heart. All right, so what we want to show you is over time, ultraviolet light from the sun, extreme conditions like heat, cold, will cause that tape to deteriorate, get real brittle, and sooner or later it's going to break off, and it's going to it's going to actually make those connections bare like you see right there. So what you want to do, if you see those connections like that, what you want to do is call your local power company, and we'll come out no charge, and we'll retape that up for you. All right, next thing we're going to talk about, here in the county, Williamson County is growing amazingly fast. The time we've been here, when I started 30 years ago from Middle Tennessee Electric, a lot of stuff was overhead, but there was a need for underground. Everybody wanted underground. We had right-of-way issues and stuff like this, so they decided to start putting more things underground. Thing about underground, it's more expensive. A lot of people don't like to do it, but it's worth it. It's safer. Up there you see it. Underground is kind of out of sight, out of mind. So, right here is our underground cable. What you see on that trailer is the primary on the top and then the primary neutral on the bottom. That same setup is in this cable right here. It's buried 4 foot in the ground. That little bitty cable in the middle, it's got insulated stuff around it. That's where 14,400 volts flows through. But for this trailer, it's 7,200. This is the system neutral that gets the current back to the transformer. All right. So what we got here is we took some time cutting our yard today. We trimmed it up. We put Roundup on it, got all the weeds out of it. But anyway, it's looking good for you tonight. Brad, this is my front yard. All right? So I called Brad, I want to plant a tree in my front yard, but I do not know anything about power cables or anything in my yard. I don't have any kind of knowledge of electrical system or anything. I just know I have a house and I want to plant a tree. So I called Brad over. Brad brings his excavator over. He's digging, all of a sudden he snatches something, so he gets off his excavator, he's got a shovel, he's gonna get off in the ditch now to check this, and watch what happens. He didn't call 811. All right, so what you're seeing there is electrical arc. If you guys wanna film this, this is a good opportunity to film this, because we're gonna do it one more time if you wanna film it. All right, Brad, hit it again. So what you're seeing there is electrical arc. That's what you do not wanna see. That's when things go bad. So, a fun fact here, does anybody know the surface temperature of the sun? Anybody? Anybody? Some guy in the audience earlier said it's hot. It's hot. Well, if you ask Mr. Google or Miss Google, it's 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That electrical arc can produce 4 to 5 times greater than that temperature, up to 35 to 40,000 degrees Fahrenheit. We have fire retardant clothes. We have rubber gloves, rubber boots, hard hats, safety glasses to protect us from something like that. You guys don't. Or the people that's doing the digging do not have stuff like that to protect them. So that's why it's so important to call 811. Not only will they locate your underground, but they'll also locate all the comm lines, telephone lines, everything that's in the ground. Something else to think about too, Williamson County has several high-profile fiber optic lines running through the county, connects the northern part of the United States to the southern United States. If you hit one of those things, Cat 5s, you can take out airports. $1 million an hour just to repair it. So that's why it's important to make sure you call 811. They're very, very important, very, very necessary. All right, moving on. What we got here to the right side of that pole, you got Dan standing right there. Does anybody know what that is? A TV antenna, absolutely right. You're showing your age. You didn't know that, but you're showing your age. But here's the thing, you're seasoned. All right, you're not old, you're seasoned. All right, so back when I was growing up, back in the 70s, we had one of those antennas on the side of my house. We got 2, 4, 5, 8, and then I got a special antenna, I got channel 17. That's where all the cool shows were, all the kids came over to the neighborhood. I was a cool kid on the block. Now we just got streaming or satellite or whatever. We've got 300 channels, or more than that. We've got thousands of channels, but it's funny thing about it, I still only watch 3. That's kind of crazy. But that antenna's on the side of my house or side of the barn. I don't know anything about electricity. That electricity is sitting up there silent. It's not, I mean, you don't know anything's going on until something bad happens, all right? So I called Dan over. Dan's gonna help me get that antenna down. Dan, you think get that antenna down for me? All right, give it a shot. Be careful now. All right. What you experienced there was called an expulsion fuse. Those are on our line. Anytime there's a fault on the line, that fuse is designed. Hey, did you throw some powdered sugar? I mean, it went up. I saw somebody in the stand going like this, trying to catch it. All right. So you're going to call us saying, hey, my lights are out. They're going to dispatch one of these linemen. It's going to take us less than 2 hours to get out there and refuse that and get your lights back on. Something real quick, if you've got a cell phone, if you're served by us, go ahead and download the Middle Tennessee Electric app if you already don't have it. You can report outage, you can pay your bill, you can see updates on outages in the area, in the county, and see what's going on. It stays updated so that you're in the know. All right. This next one is what we show to first responders. This is the kind of the more serious part of our demonstration. So y'all try to pay attention. If you've got any questions, please ask, because it's important that you understand what's going on here. Does anybody know what that is right there that Dan is pointing to with his voltmeter on? Does anybody know what that is? No, I'm talking about what he's touching it to. A wagon? No, it's not a wagon. Anybody know what that is? Come on. You don't know what that is? Say it's a car. It's a car, yes. It took our engineers at Middle Tennessee Electric 2 years in project development to come up with that car right there. Who's laughing? We take this serious. No, that's right. So anyway, what we got here on this trailer, this is our car wreck scenario. Miss Electra has been doing this job for about 9 years, and she does a great job. She was in the car one night driving home, but now to bring our focus back to this, what Dan's doing is that car is energized. It hits a pole, it makes that pole break. It can jar one of these it can jar this conductor off the insulator. This conductor can fall to the ground at the height where it could sit on that car right now and make it energized, just like that car is energized right now at 8,000 volts. Does anybody know why that's not blowing up right now? It's not going to blow up. You don't have to cover your ears, I promise you. Say what? No, it's got rubber tires. Rubber tires keeping it from blowing up. But now, if you'll notice, Dan's moving the voltmeter out from the car. You got 400, 300 volts right out there in the gravel. That's right. If you'll notice, they have the rubber overshoes on to keep them safe right there. This barrier is not going to get beyond this barrier, so we're safe. That's why this is here. So why am I telling you this? Miss Electra's coming home. She's not paying attention. She drives, she gets off the corner of the road, she hits a pole, makes the line fall down. Now it's on the car. She panics. She gets out of the car. Watch what happens. All right. Let's try this again. Anybody know what I'm holding in my hand right here? No. It's a cold dog. All right. So I'm going to let you, can you tell me that that's hot or cold to touch?
Lukewarm.
Lukewarm. We're looking for cold, but it's lukewarm. All right, so here's what I want to tell you. Electrical burns are very unique. They're not like wood fires, like you get close to a fire, it burns you from the outside in. Electrical burns burn from the inside out. And by him touching this hot dog, he says it's cold. So what does my finger have that this hot dog does not have? A bone. Electrical, what they do is they enter through the fingers or whatever that you're touching, and it travels down the bone. This copper coming out is Miss Electra's bone right here. Watch what happens when she gets out of the car again. This is the closest to human flesh that we can get. If you're hungry, we'll sell this hot dog to you for about 50 cents. They're pretty good. We got some salt and pepper back there. We got some buns. Watch what happens. Oh, yeah, that was a good cook right there. Man, I can't even see now. I shouldn't have watched that. All right, back to you again, sir. Does that still feel lukewarm right there? Still feel kind of lukewarm. Right now, feel it on the inside.
That's pretty hot.
It's pretty hot. From the inside out, it burns. That's kind of crazy. So here's the takeaway from what we're trying to tell you. God forbid this never happens, or to you, or if you drive up on somebody. This is what we train first responders. If you don't see any smoke or fire, just stay put. Help's on the way, trust me. Don't panic, just stay in your car. But if you see smoke, you see fire, you're like, oh Lord, I gotta get out of here. Here's how you do it. Does anybody know how you're gonna do it? Anybody got a suggestion? Jump out, that's exactly right. The force is strong with you. All right, so what you wanna do is you wanna open your door. You don't wanna touch the ground in the car at the same time. You wanna stand on your door jamb, and you wanna make a comfortable, keep your knees together, and you wanna jump from the car just like this. Keep your knees together. And then what you want to do from there is you want to hop about 30 steps out, about 30 feet. And the reason I'm telling you that, the best way I can describe this to you is that you saw that voltage in the ground, 400 volts outside that. If that car right there blew out its tires, if it had steel radials on the tires, that electricity would have blown those tires. Those rims have been sitting on the pavement. That 14.4 of the 7200 could exist in the pavement depending on the consistency and moisture content of that asphalt or the ground. It can exist up to 30 feet out. It could be 72 or 14,000 volts 30 feet out from that car. So, what you want to do, the best way I can describe this, if you have a dartboard, center is bullseye, the next ring's 75, next ring's 50, 25, and then 0. So, Miss Electra, and she's sitting in that car, nothing was happening. She's sitting in the bullseye, just like you see a bird on a wire. You're like, why is it not blowing up? It's a bird on the wire. Same potential. When you saw Miss Electra touch the car and the ground at the same time, it's a different of potential. That means the current flows. That's when you see the big arcs blow up. That's when you see things go wrong. A different of potential. Same potential, you're good. So how are you going to stay same potential? Stay the same potential as you move from the car. You keep your legs together and you hop. Going back to the bullseye. If I'm in 100 right here and if I jump out of the car and I'm like, okay, I'm good now, and I start to take a step like this, you see what I'm doing? I'm taking a step. Right now, by doing that step, I'm creating a different of potential. I don't know what ring I'm in. I could be 7,200 right here. This next ring, my first step, could be somewhere to 4,000. So you've got a difference of 2,000 volts right there that can travel through both extremities right here. If you keep your feet together and you hop, you stay the same potential as you go on out. Does that make sense? Now, the flip side of that, first responders. If they roll up on a wreck, or if you roll up on a wreck, and you want to communicate to that driver, and you do not know if that line's energized or not, if it's energized or not, it's not energized. What you want to do is you want to come about 30 feet. If you feel tingling in your feet, stop. But what you want to do, if you can't communicate, make contact with that driver, you're going to put your feet together and you're going to hop to that car. Keep your knees together. Don't panic until you can make contact and understand, hey, what's your name? Are you good? Help's on the way, so on and so forth. Make sense? And then you want to turn around and hop back out. Some of this information is on our website. Under the safety demonstration, we did videos, training videos on this very scenario. This is very important. Any questions about that before I move on? Okay, perfect. All right. 90% of all Middle Tennessee Electric outages are due to birds, squirrels, anything that can get on top of our transformers. Guys, if you want to cover your ears, there's going to be a blow on this one. So, that squirrel is like a bird on a wire, like Miss Electra. Same potential right there. Remember, nothing happens when it's the same potential. All right, Brad, move it around all the different places. Same potential, nothing's happening. He gets over here close. He gets up on top of the fuse barrel. He gets up on top and all. Boom. Dead squirrel. Moment of silence for the squirrel, please. Okay, good. Now, you're gonna call our control center. They're gonna say, hey, I'm sorry, your power's out. We got a lineman dispatched. It's gonna be Brad. It's gonna take him less than 2 hours to get there, get your lights back on. It may take him 5-10 minutes, depending on where he lives. We're on call. There's 5 guys on call, 24/7, 365 days out of the year here in Williamson County, in all our districts, actually. So he's going to come back, close the fuse. Now you got lights back on. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about is very serious, too. Does anybody know what Dan's got in his hand right there? A ladder. You're exactly right. There's no tricks to this one. It's a ladder. Why aluminum ladder? I'll tell you why. Great question. Here's the thing. Aluminum ladders are cheap. Another thing, number 2, is they're light. You can have really long links, like 40 foot, and still be able to carry it like it's nothing. 4 years ago in Mount Juliet, we had an incident that was caught on a Ring doorbell. It was that footage was used for investigation on what happened. It was a fatality. Had a roofer, had a 40-foot ladder, had one of those little elevators at the bottom that takes shingles up to the roof. You could see him on Ring doorbell. He was looking like this and looking up, and next thing you know, at the bottom of the ladder, you see this big ball of fire, just whoop, like this. Just like that right there, but it was happening down here. If Brad didn't have his rubber gloves on, his rubber boots, if he was handing out with bare hands, you'd see fire right there on the ground. Next thing you see is you see two of his guys come in trying to get him off the ladder. It fires up again, blows them back. The guy holding the ladder died instantly. The other two guys were taken to the Vanderbilt burn unit. They had their legs amputated, their arms amputated, and 3 or 4 weeks later, they both died because of electrical injuries. One more time, Brad. All right. Any questions about that? All right. Has anybody got a birthday this month? Anybody got a birthday? No birthday? Okay. When's your birthday? The 22nd. Anybody beat that? You had one 2 days ago? Okay. Did she beat you? You got it. All right. Middle Tennessee, let me see that balloons real quick. Middle Tennessee Electric is a very, very giving company. We'll give you, if you pay your bill, one thing we'll give you once a month is a bill. So this is yours. This is a Mylar balloon. Say that we never gave you anything, all right? Great balloon. It's used for a lot of occasions. Very popular. It's called a Mylar balloon. It's got some metal properties to it. So, here you go, Dan. I can't see that. There you go. Perfect. All right. What do you think happens when you go outside and then somebody excites you, you all of a sudden let go of the balloon? Where do you think it's going to go? Anybody? Where's it going to go? Up where? In the power line. Every time we're at a power line demonstration. Yes, it's going to go to that. It's going to go to the transformer. It's going to go to the line. It's floating up in the air. It gets where it's not supposed to get. And here's a blow, just so you know. Now watch what happens when he bridges the gap between that cutout. Watch that light come on the house. All right. All right. Happy birthday to you. Here's your balloon. Do me a favor. Hold on to it. Don't throw it away up here. Get about 3 or 4 dumpsters down or trash cans. You throw it away then. But this is very special, dear to our heart. This is yours. Happy birthday. All right. Now, you see a limb right there on the power line hanging down. All of a sudden, you see smoke. Thunderstorms are real severe here in Williamson County or in Tennessee. Big winds come in ahead of a thunderstorm. Those winds can blow dead limbs out of a tree or other limbs out of a tree onto our power lines. If you ever come across a limb on the line and it's coming all the way down the ground, do not touch it. Please do not touch it. I was on my family farm when I was 13 years old and I was cutting a tree down. I didn't know anything about electricity. That tree fell right on the power line, and it was a divine encounter where I just absolutely let go of the chainsaw. If I hadn't let go of the chainsaw, I'd have been like Miss Electra. I know there's some lumberjacks in the audience and there's probably some lumberjills. Be mindful when you cut trees or whatever where they're going to fall. But what happens right here, we have a right-of-way program here at Middle Tennessee Electric. We have 40 foot, center of the pole, 20 foot, 20 foot. And the reason we maintain a right-of-way is that we try to get our trucks in there. If something happens, we want to get in that right-of-way and be able to articulate our trucks to get lights back on as quick as possible. If there's a lot of obstacles, trees, and stuff like this, it's going to take a long time to get your power back on. So that's why we do what we do, to make sure that we can keep outages down to a minimum. Right now, that voltage is trying its hardest to get down here to the neutral. Those neutral, the bottom wire is attached to those poles, which has got a ground on it. It goes all the way to earth ground. Electricity is trying to make itself, trying to get to ground right now. What you're hearing, the moisture in that limb heat up. You see the steam, the pressure, and what's going to happen, you see that fire at the neutral trying to make its way up to the primary. The primary is trying to make it down. They're going to meet somewhere in the middle, and when they meet, you're going to see something pretty cool. All right. I'm going to show you this real quick, something unique about this branch. Dan's about to hand it to me. Right now I've got bare hands. This is not, you're going to smell like barbecue. So what you got here, this limb, as you can see, that was real. That's very hot. This is cool to touch. This is where it was sitting on the primary. It's very, very hot. Right here is where it was sitting on the neutral. It's very, very hot. But I can touch it right here, and it's not hot at all. That's how crazy electricity is right there. Say what? Don't touch the black spots. You're very smart. Very smart. All right. Yes, sir. Ask.
Wood doesn't conduct electricity, does it?
Say what?
Wood doesn't conduct electricity.
Yes, it does.
It does.
Yes. Depending on the consistency of it. If it's a dead branch, it can sit there and not do anything. But if it's got moisture to it or the cell content,
it's more the sap
it's,
that's
yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right. Last part of the show, guys, right here, the last demonstration we're going to show you. This is near and dear to our hearts as linemen. This used to be the silent killer because you really can't hear the generators running right now. But it's running. That green light you see at the bottom of the pole, that generator is installed correctly. Lights are out on the whole entire neighborhood, but you've got a generator in there. Watch what happens when he turns this switch. Go ahead and turn the switch, Nolan. Now, if you look at the voltmeter, the top of that transformer, it's 10,900 volts. Mother Nature can throw you a curveball. Hurricanes, tornadoes, ice storms. Generators are very, very popular. Back in the old days, all you had to do is go and buy you a pigtail, match it to your dryer plug in your house, whether it be 3-prong or 4-prong, plug it into your dryer plug, run this cord out of your utility window out to the generator, plug it into your generator, turn it on, and guess what? Now you've got your refrigerator, you've got your hot water heater, you can run some plugs depending on the size of the generator you got, you can run your house. Nowadays you've got generators that can run your whole house, no problem, like nothing ever happened. Why is this so dangerous? Well, if you notice, when Brad closes in, the terminology I want to give is called backfeed. Right now, that generator is backfeeding through your dryer plug, back out through the meter, back across your yard to that transformer. It goes in the secondary side of that transformer. It goes round and round. Remember, a transformer does what exactly it says it does. It transforms. Comes out the high side, primary voltage. As he closes that in, you've got 6,500 volts on that top wire. Now, downstream, your next door neighbor, Larry's down there, and he's going to close in. He's going to close in that fuse right there. Watch what happens to your neighbor's lights when he does that. Their lights come on based off your generator. If that's your generator, now you can charge your neighbor electric bill. So, let me take this a little further. Here's the hazard. Ice storms, really bad here in Williamson County. When the ice gets on our power lines, it weights them down, and it can get to the point where it gets so heavy it'll break these poles. And this line can come to the ground, and now ice covering it and snow's covering it. You've got a friend or somebody down the road that you do not know that's installed a generator incorrectly, just like this right here. This is laying on the ground. Your kids are dressed up to go outside like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. They're like this. They're walking around. They're having fun in the snow, and they're sliding their feet, and they step on this primary line. What do you think's going to happen to them? Based off that generator, you got 6,000, 7,000 volts running through that right now. Better yet, Honey Pie says, "Husband, I need you to take me to work. This is laying across your driveway." You tell her to get out, or you get out. The husband gets out to try to push this up. Drive under it. What do you think is going to happen once they touch it and try to move it up? These are real scenarios, guys, that's happened. So that's why we're talking about it. So here's what we do. Many linemen have lost their lives because in the past, we would go out into a field, and this would be laying down in the field, and all we're going to do is take this broke line and this broke, and we'll put it together. We can't hear the generator. Guess what? Me and linemen have put that together, and boom, they're dead. Now there's a safety. These rubber gloves, there's a reason that we have these rules. Somebody paid the price for them. We have rubber gloves. We can't touch any conductor on the ground without rubber gloves or voltage detectors. You guys don't have that stuff. So here's what we do to stay safe. When we go out to work on a power line, Larry's got something what we call a grounding chain. So watch what happens when he touches that line. That bottom part of that grounding chain is attached to the neutral, which is grounded. Watch that voltmeter right there. It goes to 0. Do it one more time there, Mr. Larry. Back to 0. We'll do that on both sides of us right there. When we do that, we're safe to work on that power line. Also, if any generator decides to come on, it will not come on. It will drown itself out and stall out, and it keeps us safe. So for us to be able to work on that power line. Is there any questions about that? Any questions? Well, guys, that concludes our show. Thank you for coming to the Williamson County Fair, taking time out to come up here to see this show. It means a lot to us. We'll be here all week. Tell your friends about it. And before you go, we've got a special gift for y'all. If you want a hot dog, we can cook it for you real quick. That's for sure. We had a guy at a show down in DeKalb County ate the whole entire hot dog. We're like, are you serious, dude? He actually ate it. All right, guys, I'm going to give you something. And what you do is you take it and you go all the way down to that end of the park, take a left where all the livestock is, and there is a black trailer. It's called Hattie Jane's Creamery. They got a cup right there, and they'll put 1 scoop of ice cream and they fill it to the brim. Free. If you've got a sweet tooth, this will go on and fill it up. This ice cream is so good it'll make a tadpole smack a whale. I'm telling you. So I'm going to give you these. Y'all go enjoy. Thank you for being here tonight. So we're going to pass these out. Yes.